Hello and welcome. You are watching Simply Education, and today we will discuss about the role of banks in the development of Indian economy. At first, we will discuss about a bank, how a bank performs its services and duties. Actually, bank is a financial institution that performs several functions like accepting deposits, lending loans, that helps in agriculture and rural development, etc. Bank also plays an important role in the economic development of the country. In fact, without an effective banking system, no country can have an healthy economy. So it is necessary to encourage people to deposit their surplus funds with the banks. These funds are used for providing loans to the industries, thereby making productive investments. The most important role of the bank is to connect those who have capital and with those who need those capitals. Now we will discuss the different types of banks in India. In current scenario, the Indian banking system consists of 26 public sector banks, 25 private sector banks, 43 foreign banks, 56 regional rural banks, and 1589 urban cooperative banks and 93,550 rural cooperative banks. In addition to the cooperative credit institution, also there are now different types of payments banks exists. Public sector banks control nearly 80% of the market, thereby leaving comparatively much smaller share for private sector players. Okay. Next, a bank can contribute or play a role to a country's economic development in various manners. Like this, the removing of the deficiency of the capital formation. Actually, in any economy, economic development is not possible unless there is an adequate amount of capital formation. It is the duty of the bank to regulate this capital formation, and the serious capital deficiency in developing countries is removed by banks itself. Thus, the bank helps in capital formation. And the capital formation is what? The capital formation is actually the net worth or the worth of a country. When it is formed or increases, then the value of the currency or the economy increases also. Banks also mobilizes deposits by offering attractive rates of interest and thus convert saving into active capital. It also facilitates the optimum utilization of the financial resources of the community. Next, we will discuss that bank helps in generating employment opportunity. Obviously, bank helps in providing financial resources to the industries, and that helps in automatically generate employment opportunity in those industries. Okay, and especially bank also itself employment generated by banking sector every year runs in millions. Equally, revenue generation through tax and dividend collection by government invested in every year. Successfully maintaining healthy credit line to industrial sector as well as to overall economy is another contribution of this financial sector. The commercial banks helps the economic development of a country by implementing the monetary policy of the RBI. RBI depends upon the commercial banks for the success of its policy monetary management in keeping with requirement of the developing country. Thus, the commercial banks contribute much to the growth of a developing economy by granting loans to the agriculture, granting loans to the trade, and granting loans to the industries, by helping in capital formation and by following the monetary policy of the country. Then when the inflation rate is high, when the inflation rate is low, and as per those, the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, set up their monetary policies. Commercial banks give assistance to the financial industries or other industries. It provides direct financial assistance to the industrial enterprises in the form of granting loans and advances and purchasing or underwriting the issues of stocks, bonds or debentures. IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India, gives guidance, gives loans to start a business, to facilitate an easy access to finance by micro and small enterprises. Bank also promote saving habits of the people. Actually, bank attracts depositor by introducing attractive deposit schemes and providing higher rates of interest. Bank providing different kinds of deposit schemes to its customers, that it enables to create saving habits among the people, and it is necessary. Basically, because we can't predict the future, saving money can help you become financially secure and provide safety net in case of an emergency. Okay. Apart from those points, financial facilities for trades, that commercial banks help in financing both internal and external trades. The bank provide loans to retailers and wholesalers to purchase goods in which they deal. They also help in the movement of goods from one place to another. Banks provide all types of facilities such as discounting and accepting bills of exchange, providing overdraft facilities, issuing drafts, etc. They also give foreign currency loans. Actually, foreign currency loans are meant for setting up a new industrial project. Bank also helps in providing loans for expansion, diversification and modernization or renovation of existing units. Bank also helps in financing import of equipment from abroad or technical knowledge. Development banks in India have also achieved a success in creating a new class of entrepreneurs and spreading the industrial culture. Special capital and seed capital schemes have been introduced to provide equity type assistance to new and technically skilled entrepreneurs. So, facilities of bank loans enable the entrepreneurs to step up their investment on innovational activities, adopt new methods of production and increase productive capacity of the economy. Point number 9. Actually, agriculture is the backbone of economy of any country like India. The commercial banks helps the large agricultural sector in developing countries. They provide loans to traders in agricultural commodities. They open a number of branches in rural areas to provide agricultural credit. They provide finance directly to agriculturalists for the marketing of their product, for the modernization and mechanization of their farms, for providing irrigation facilities, for developing land, etc. Actually, the share of the commercial banks in total institutional credits to agriculture is almost 48%, followed by cooperative banks with the share of 46% and regional rural banks about 6%. Bank also helps in balanced developments. Actually, modern banks spreading its operation throughout the world. We can see number of big banks like Citibank, State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, Bank of Baroda, etc. It helps country to spread banking activities in rural and semi-urban areas. With the spreading of banking operations all over the country, helps in attain balance regional development by promoting rural areas. The Reserve Bank of India has granted in principle license to 10 applicants to open small finance banks, which will help expanding access to financial service in rural areas or as well as semi-urban areas. Some reforms, that is banking reforms, which made an impact in the Indian economy. The first of is the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana PMJDY actually 250.5 million accounts have been opened under this Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. These new accounts have mustered deposits worth almost rupees 44,480 crore. To make banks more credit friendly, RBI has allowed banks to raise funds via long-term bonds for financing the critical infrastructure sector. This means banks no longer have to meet cash reserve ratio, statutory liquidity ratio or priority sector norms to disburse credit for bright structure of the projects. Indian government started Mudra scheme, under which Indian banks will be providing the cheap and affordable credit to new and small entrepreneurs. At last, at the conclusion, I want to make that if we make the comparison between rural areas and urban areas, then it is clear that urban areas are more developed. This is because of low credit flow and low contribution of agricultural sector in GDP of India. To conclude, we can say that the modern economies of the world have developed primarily by making the best use of the credit availability in their systems. So, we have to use our credits in the best way we can to neutralize all those problems. The role of banks has been important, but it is going to be even more important in the future for the development of the economy and to become a 5 trillion economy in the future. Thank you. Stay blessed. Stay safe.